Hey guys, Captain Rick Murphy here, and thank you so much for taking time out of your day to tune in to the Captain Rick Murphy YouTube channel. Love seeing you guys. Don't forget, guys, hit the subscribe button at the bottom there. Make sure you tell all your buddies, because what we're gonna try to do over the next few months is to teach you a lot of little cool tricks about fishing so that you become a better fisherman, even though you may be an expert at this point or a beginner. So speaking of beginners, let's just pretend that nobody knows how to tie a simple clinch knot. So we're going to pretend this is our hook. This is certainly our line going to our rod and reel. A clinch knot is so easy to tie. What we're going to simply do is we're going to make a loop, as you can see here, just like so. And now what I'm going to do, guys, is I'm going to take the tag in and I'm going to go around the main line, go into the rod. We're using this braided Pro Spec Chrome so that you guys can see it. We're going to simply, after we've gone around the main line 6 or so times, we're going to pull this, go simply through the loop that we made. Now we're going to pull this down tight. So here, we're going to start to slowly pull it. Now remember this, guys, most important thing that I want you to take away from this tip today is any knot, whether it's a clinch knot, improved clinch knot, uni knot, whatever your favorite knot is, before you cinch it down, it's very critical that we wet it. The reason why is, in monofilament, in braid, when we cinch this thing down, we pull it down tight, guess what's going to happen? It's going to heat up, and that heat can crystallize your monofilament, your fluorocarbon, or it can weaken your braid. So it's really important to make sure you wet it, and it's also going to allow you to cinch it down. The other thing I want to tell you is when you get ready to pull down tight on your knot, don't hesitate, because that heats it up and then cools it off, heats it up and cools it off. We're going to pull it down tight right away from the very beginning. Make sure on this clinch knot, when you go to pull it tight, that the tag in is 90 degrees to the main line. I don't want to see it down here like this, because then it won't cinch up quite as nicely. All right, here we go. We're going to pull it down tight. You can see how easily that actually cinches. That's how you know it's done right. The other thing is that you can certainly go back and pull on the tag in if you want, and then re-pull it one more time. That's a properly tied clinch knot. Now the next knot I want to show you is very similar. It's called the improved clinch. So we're going to take, it's the same way. You're going to go through the eye of the hook, and then we're going to do one other little thing before we pull it down tight. All right, here we go again. We're going to go through the eye of the hook. We're going to make our little loop, just like so. Now I'm going to take the tag in. We're going to go around the main line. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 for the sake of TV. We're going to go through the loop. That would be your clinch. And to improve it, you see how you have a loop here? We're simply just going to go back with the tag in through there. Now we're going to pull these things, cinch it up a little bit, but not completely tight. Very important, guys. Make sure you wet it, and then we can pull it up to the eye of the hook, pulling it nice and good and tight. The difference between the improved clinch and the regular clinch, comes out at the bottom against the shank of the hook. The improved clinch comes out at the top. So if you want your tag in at the top, maybe you're not fishing around weeds, then you could simply want to use this, would work very, very well. But if it's weedy and there's grass getting on the line, you don't want this tag in, because the grass is going to catch on it. Remember, whenever you pull down your knots, make sure you pull it really tight. You want it to come, if you tie a bad knot, you want to know about it before you get that personal best fish on. Now it's tied good and tight. It's not going to slip. Now we're ready to go cast, do whatever it is, put our shrimp on, put our mullet on, put our pinfish on, and go catch a big one. All right, let's move into another little knot that I like. Sometimes when you're tying on a jig, you've heard me say it, a jig's going to sink a lot faster when it has a loop. So remember that. Anytime that you're tying on something with a lead head, we want it to be able to sink like this. If we tie it straight to the hook with like a clinch or an improved clinch, guess what happens? We're over here in the boat, and the loop is cinched up against it, it sinks like this. It doesn't sink going down. A loop allows it to rotate with inside of the knot, and it heads to the bottom, which is a really cool presentation. So how are we going to do this? We'll do the same thing. We'll use the big hook so that you can see it. Hopefully this is helpful. All right, so how we're going to basically do this, this is essentially a bowline. So I'm going to tie a loop in my line. Real simple. There it is. So we're going to go through the eye of the hook, and then we're simply just going to go around the main line 2 times and then back through the loop, just like so. Then we pull it tight. Or again, we're always, before we pull something down tight, we want to always wet it. That's not going to come loose. There's your loop, and it works very, very well. Look, now you can see, I'm going to go ahead and cut this off real quick. We're going to tie it on the jig, and I want to show you how it works on a jig. I'm going to tie a loop. Going to go through the jig head, through the eye of the hook. Now we're just going to go around the main line on the upside of the loop and then back through the loop, just like so. Pull it down tight. That works really well. If you want, if it's weedy, what you can do, if this was monofilament, I would leave this like that, and now it acts as a weed guard. You might have bend it a little bit, point it back towards the hook, and now you have a built-in weed guard. That's worth the price of admission right there, guys. Okay, remember, the reason why this is important is because when we cast this, we want this jig to sink in this manner. It's really important to understand that if you tied it tight, then what happens is it doesn't want to sink or rotate around inside of the loop, and it sinks much slower with a different way that it looks. All right, let's move on. I'm going to teach you another knot. A lot of guys use what they call a uni knot. Now, the uni knot is a good knot to know because it can be used for a variety of different applications. First, let me show you how to tie the uni knot onto a hook, why it's important to go a lot of times through. So we're going to go through our eye of our hook, like so. We're going to make a loop. Most all knots start with some type of loop, guys. Now what we're going to do is we're just going to simply go around make another loop like so. So you got a loop here and a loop in here. I'm holding the line with my fingers like so. Now I'm just going to go around the main line and through the loop. 1, 2, 3, 4. If this was monofilament, guys, we would do 8-pound or 10-pound, tying its loop on. We're going to do it 8 to 10 times because we don't want it to slip at the end of the day. Now, I haven't pulled it down tight yet, but I have this big loop. Now, understand this. As I pull this down, whatever the distance is from here to the knot is where the knot is going to end up. So that's how you measure your uni knot. The knot is in place now. I just have to cinch it down by pulling on this tag end. This is what they would refer to as an old hangman's noose. I'm going to wet it. I'm going to take my pliers and I'm going to grab the tag end, which is going to really cinch it down. Hold it tight. Pull it tight. Now that's how we know that we did a good job, because as I'm pulling on here, it's not sliding down. That is, again, a great loop. It's called the uni knot. Now, I'm going to show you one more reason why you want to know a uni. It's very important. Whether you use it for tying your hook on or not, that's your business. But this is the knot that most guys use to tie their braided line to their monofilament. So what we're going to do here is we're going to use a piece of white and a piece of orange. Actually, let's use the blue. All right, so if this was our heavier line, our leader, we're going to want to tie, let's say this is 30-pound or 40-pound mono. This is our line going to the rod. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to take the two lines, we're going to join them together like so. And all we're going to do is make a loop. like so with the blue line. We're gonna take the tag in. We're gonna go around the white and around into the blue loop. Taking the tag in, going through there 5 to 6 times. So we've just made a knot. See? We're gonna pull it down tight. Now we're gonna take the white line, make another loop on the blue, and we're gonna take the white tag in and go around through the white loop and around the blue line. Okay, now we're gonna pull that one down tight. So we have a white knot and we got a blue knot. You got 2 knots. Now you go, well, Captain Rick, how are we gonna get these together? What you're gonna do is you're gonna wet this, and then we're gonna pull the 2 together and they jam into each other. Guys, that's 2 knots that are jamming into each other. It's the perfect way to tie mono to braid or mono to braid to braid. That's a great way to do it. You can do the same thing with all of your hooks. It's really simple. We're gonna tie on that clinch knot. We can tie a uni knot, improved clinch. It's real simple. I'm gonna make a little loop. Always there's a loop started in whatever knot it is. Go around the main line 3 or 4 times. This is my clinch. I'm gonna go back through the loop, as you can see. See how the line is actually laying back this way? It's not on the outside. So I'm gonna pull down on that tag so that it's 90 degrees before I cinch it down, so it'll cinch really good. And we're gonna pull it tight, boom. Now we just simply trim it off. I'll show you a trick. My cutters are designed to cut like this. So I always cut towards the rod with the cutters because it gives me an angle that is a lot more weedless. See how that's at an angle? I don't know if you can see that, but it's at an angle, so now the weeds, the grass, won't hang up on it. Instead of it facing this way with the tag in facing that way to catch everything. Guys, I appreciate your time. I want you to make sure you tell all your friends. Don't forget to click on the subscribe button, and we'll see you on the next time on the Captain Rick Murphy YouTube channel.